Happy Easter, Ben and Matilda. I know it's a really beautiful day in British Columbia for Matilda, and it's a sunny day here, just a little bit cold for you, Ben. I hope the Easter Bunny came and gave you lots of treats. He's a bit tricky, isn't he? He likes to come and hide his treats, and you never get to see him. But I thought I'd read you a story about a trickster bunny. A trickster is a character in a story who always is playing tricks. And I have a book called Who is Boo? And he is a trickster rabbit. So I thought that was a really good story to read on Easter Sunday. He is written, he's a creation of someone who used to live in Edmonton. Her name is Bridget Ryan, and she was a news broadcaster on television, and then now she's an author. And the pictures are drawn by another Edmonton person named Jason Carter. And they have 3 books now about Boo, who is a trickster rabbit. And I just love this story. Once Bridget Ryan came to my classroom and talked to my kids about Boo and showed the pictures. And there's an art gallery in Canmore, Alberta, with Jason Carter's pictures. And in fact, it's so special that you can see this book's been read far too much. And both Jason Carter and Bridget Ryan signed this book. Who is Boo? This is Boo. Boo is a rabbit who likes to play tricks, kind of like the Easter Bunny. Not mean tricks, but helpful tricks, or so he thinks. Which is why Boo is so darn likable. So's the Easter Bunny. He's pretty likable too. Boo! That's a trick, isn't it? When you say boo to somebody, you're tricking them. Rabbits are everywhere. Some of them are tricksters. Some of them are not. Look at all those rabbits. I'm going to count them. 1, can you count with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 rabbits. I wonder how many of them are trickster rabbits. But one thing is for sure, there is no rabbit like Boo. Here he is. That makes 16 rabbits. And this is his story. Boo, being a trickster rabbit, keeps Boo very busy. He is constantly in a race with his brother. Oh, he's got a brother. Just like Sophie. Sophie has a brother. Around the world. So they go all around the world. Look, this is the North America continent. There's Boo and there's his brother. They race over mountains, kind of like the mountains near you, Matilda. They race across the prairies, and that's where you live, Ben. You live on the prairies in Alberta. They race in the deep blue waters, even with the fishies like this guy. I don't think I've seen too many rabbits in the water. They race where it is very cold. That's a rabbit, Mom. Look, there's penguins, and a baby penguin and a mummy penguin, and there is, I think that's the brother, and I think this is Boo. They race where it's very hot. They race in the deserts. It's Boo again. He must be hot. So we've got lots of mummies with their babies. Boo and his brother are in a constant race around the world because, frankly, they forgot where they put the finish line. So when you have a race, it's always good to get to the finish, but they forgot where it was, so they just keep racing and racing. But it's kind of neat because the Easter Bunny goes all around the world too and tricks people by putting chocolate eggs in their house. On this particular day, Boo raced through the mountains and happened upon a wolf. Wolf looked very sad because, well, he was sad. I am lonely, said Wolf. During the day, I'm able to move through the mountains and keep busy with the daily goings-on of being a wolf. But at night, I get so very Lonely. Ah, sometimes at night it gets lonely. Boo thought a bit about this. Certainly there was something he could do, some helpful trick. He thought left, he thought right, he thought down, and he thought up. And then it hit him. "You are not alone," Boo blurted out. "Look up." As Wolf looked up, he saw the moon, big, round, full, and friendly. And look at that beautiful picture of the wolf and Boo looking at the moon. Boo told Wolf that the moon would be his friend, and when the moon was full, it meant that the moon needed a friend more than ever. If Wolf could talk to the moon, as only wolves can do, the moon would be ever so appreciative and might, in fact, talk back. Boo encouraged Wolf to talk to the moon, as only a wolf can. Wolf considered this for a moment. Even though he was wary of this trickster rabbit's trickster ways, he decided to take a huge gulp of air. Take a big gulp of air with me. And howl at the moon. Can you howl with me? 1, 2, 3. Hoo! Boo lowered his ears. The wolf was very loud. They both stood there waiting for the moon to respond. They waited and waited and waited. Suddenly, from very far away place, there came a howl. Then another, and another, and another. Let's hear you two howl. 1, 2, 3. Howl! Boo was happy and the wolf was happy. See, does Boo look happy there? The whole valley was filled with the sound of howling wolves. This made Wolf very happy, and Boo too. You see, in Boo's constant race around the world, he runs into many wolves who are lonely at night. He tells each of them to howl at the moon and perhaps it will respond. It always does. So when the moon is full, the world is full of happily howling wolves talking to each other. A bit of trickery, but this is the way of Boo. And here again, one last time, let's howl at the moon. Howl! And look at all the wolves howling in North America. Most of them seem to be in Canada because that top part is Canada. There's Hudson Bay. And these are all happy wolves. Boo was happy to see Wolf howling at the moon. He wanted to stay, but he could hear the thump of his brother's feet coming up the mountain. Boo knew it was time to go. And there's the wolf still howling. You can see. Ahoo! He was pleased that his trick had worked. Wolf would never be lonely again. Boo ran down the mountain, looking over his shoulder to see exactly where his brother was. But one knows that when you are racing down a mountain, one should always keep a keen eye forward. Otherwise, you might trip and fall. And that is exactly what happened to Boo. Look at him. He's tumbling down the mountain. When you're running, you should always be watching what way you're going. As he lay there catching his breath, he wiggled his nose to make sure it still worked. Wiggle your nose. It did. He thumped his foot. Still thumping. He fluffed his tail. Can you fluff your tail? All good. His ego, however, was not. In a race against others, he thought, never get ahead of yourself. He rolled himself onto his back. He was about to get up, but he found himself staring right up into the nostrils. These are your nostrils. The nostrils of one rather large grizzly bear. Look how big that bear is. They stared at each other for a moment. Just then, Bear grabbed Boo and stood him on his feet. Oh, that would be really scary. "Thank you, friend," said Boo, who was again not afraid of the bear, though many were, and most certainly should be. I think I'd be afraid if I ran into a bear. "You're welcome," said Bear. He was just about to say something when all of a sudden, Bear lurched left, and then he threw himself to the right. It almost looked like he was dancing. Bear wasn't just dancing at all. He had a really, really bad itch right about here. Boo decided to jump on and give Bear a good scratch, and look at that. But as hard as Boo tried, his little paws couldn't get past Bear's thick fur. Boo thought that there must be something he could do. Boo thought to the right. He thought to the left. He thought down, and he thought up. Aha! The answer was staring right at him. Can you think what the answer would be? I think I know. The trees. The trees are tall and strong, and those small branches are actually fingers. Fingers that are there for you to scratch your back with. "Fingers?" asked Bear. He was familiar with this trickster rabbit and wary of his trickster ways. Everybody seems a little wary of Boo being a trickster. "Give it a try," said Boo, and so he did. Bear stood up on two legs, steadied himself and waited, but nothing happened. "Oh, you have to move up and down for the fingers to work," explained Boo. And so he did. He moved up, he moved down, he moved all around. Bear could feel the tree scratching his back, and it felt great. It almost looked like he was dancing again. Ah! To this very day, Bear can still be seen dancing beside a tree. Boo left Bear happily scratching his back with a giant smile on his face. Boo was very excited, but he had to go. He again could hear the thumping of his brother's feet. Everybody thump their feet, because rabbits thump. This time, eyes forward, he continued on his race out of the forest and onto the prairies under the beautiful blue sky. I'm having trouble holding the book. Who will Boo meet next? Boo likes to go and help people and do little tricks to help him. Kind of like the Easter Bunny. The Easter Bunny helps every little child feel like they've got good treats on Easter morning. And happy Easter to you too. Maybe you could think of another trick that Boo could do. A trick that would help somebody. What could Boo do to help somebody? Think about it, maybe tell me about it, and draw a picture. Bye-bye, kids.